What's up, taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. You know what I realized? I realized that the minorities, particularly black people, don't care about bona fide racists on their side, okay? It's okay if anybody white or white on the Democratic Party is racist. They don't care. But if anybody's racist outside of Democratic Party, then they got a problem with it. Allow me to explain, because this is going to get really good. So we all know that Joe Biden's mentor was Robert Byrd. Robert Byrd mentored not only Joe Biden, but he also mentored Hillary Clinton. Robert Byrd was a Klansman. Actually, he was the leader of his KKK chapter in his town. He's also a bona fide racist who was against the Civil Rights Bill in 1964. He was so against it that he had a 14-hour and 13-minute filibuster to stop it from passing. LBJ had to put him to the side and be like, listen, you're gonna let me have to handle these black people. I know how to deal with them. You're just gonna have to trust the process. I know how to make them work for us. All right. So that's what made him stop. But we understand that the fruit doesn't fall far from the racist tree. Joe Biden have said so many crazy things against black people. He called black folks roaches. He said he did not want to end segregation because he didn't want his white kids to grow up in a racial jungle. He accused black people of not having lawyers. He said that poor kids are just as bright as white kids. This right here, out of all the things Joe Biden has said, this right here makes me laugh so hard. I'm like, the blatant racism said by Joe Biden. Now remember, black folks elected him, right? They keep talking about how Trump was a racist, Trump was a racist, Trump was a racist. No. Out of all the things that Joe Biden has said against blacks, you can't even, I don't even think that David Duke can't even match any of that, okay? So Joe Biden says poor kids, but what he really meant was black kids are just as bright as white kids. And then, of course, this is my favorite oldie but goodie. He's like blacks and Hispanics who live in rural areas just don't know how to use the internet. And here's a black guy actually making fun of him in a TikTok video. Let's watch.
A lot of people don't know how to register. Not everybody in the community, the Hispanic and the African American community, particularly in rural areas that are distant and or inner city districts, know how to get online to determine how to get in line for that COVID vaccine. A lot of people.
So it just amazes me that Joe Biden is just a blatant racist. He said if we don't vote for him, we're not black. And of course, the oldie but goodie, let's not forget when Joe was proud of saying the N-word with the hard R, not 11, not 12, but 13 times. Yes, 13 times. The Democrats, or the demon rats, always want to use Republicans passed against them, but you notice that they don't use this against Joe Biden, all right? And of course, last but not least, we always want to remind everybody that black people re-elected Coon Man, governor in blackface Northam, and they re-elected him. Now, once again, rules for thee, not for me. They want to sit up here and call everybody on our side racist when the racism is blatantly coming from their side. Their side is so racist that Richard Spencer said, hey, you know what? I think the Democrats are on something. And guess who he supported? He supported Joe Biden. Now, why am I mentioning all of this? I'm mentioning all of this because of this right here. This is Senator Sheldon Whitehouse. The fact that his last name is Whitehouse is amazing to me, right? So this senator is part of a exclusive white-only beach club, and no blacks are allowed. Hold on, when I say no blacks are allowed, there are no black workers. You can't even mop the floor if you're black. They're workers, they're help from the cooks to the janitors are all white. When they don't want black folks in there, they really don't want no black folks in there. And I think this is like, how in the hell are black people going to sit up here and talk all this yin yang about how the right is the racist when you got people like this on your side? But not only is this guy a demon rat, but he's a progressive. So let's read this real quick, and we're going to look at some videos that are going to just knock your socks off. Democrat senator refused to leave all-white private beach club despite championing racial justice. Democratic U.S. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse has apologized for, but has not left, an elite private beach club that refuses to accept anyone who is not white. Go Local Providence, a local publication in Providence, Rhode Island, confronted Mr. Whitehouse in 2017 about his membership at the Bailey's Beach Club in Newport, which does not allow minorities into its ranks and is considered to be one of the most exclusive clubs in the United States. Quote, I think it would be nice if they changed a little bit, but it's not my position, Mr. Whitehouse told the outlet at the time. The publication approached him again this year, asking if the club has made any progress on its regressive acceptance policies since that interview. Quote, I think the people who are running the place are still working on that, and I'm sorry it hasn't happened yet. You know what amazes me about these people? What amazes me about these people is that they will say the right things in front of the cameras. As long as you have a microphone at their mouth, they will tell you the whole, I'm so sorry, we regret, we're working on it. But once the cameras are off, once the microphone is out of their face, they will go back to say, hell no, we ain't allowing no darkies in our club. Hell no. They stay true to it. Because listen, he's saying right now, yeah, we're working on accepting minorities. And guess what? If he's still alive 5 years from now, he'll still say, oh, we're working on accepting minorities. And if he's still alive 10 years from now, oh, we're working on accepting minorities. They will still say this till the end of time. So they'll sit up here and say, we're working on accepting minorities, but they will still not accept minorities. And no one from their side, including the black community, is going to actually apply pressure to make them do otherwise. Membership to a whites-only elite social club would generate criticism for any politician, but Mr. Whitehouse's position as not only a Democrat, but one who claims to champion progressive issues makes his patronage of the club even more infuriating for his critics. Both Mr. Whitehouse and his wife Sandra have been members at the club for decades. The exclusive organization includes many prominent and wealthy individuals from Newport, Palm Beach, and New York. When Mr. Whitehouse was confronted by the issue the day before Juneteenth, which was made a federal holiday this year, he said the club still needed to work through its acceptance issue and justified his inclusion in the group by saying it was a tradition. It's tradition to be racist in the Democratic Party, and he's not lying, actually. If you really know the history of the Democrats, it is their tradition to be racist. It is tradition if you really think about it. It's a long tradition in Rhode Island, and there are many of them. And I think we just need to work our way through the issue. Thank you, Mr. Whitehouse said. Mrs. Whitehouse is reportedly at the facility during most days in the summer. Despite his inclusion in the club, Mr. Whitehouse has spoken out about systemic racism, which doesn't exist. There's no such thing as systemic racism in the United States following the deaths of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. The senator issued a statement of solidarity with the racial justice movement. And this is what he says. We hear the voices of the peaceful protesters who have marched. We can and must do better to root out systemic racism in its many forms. As long as you darkies stay out of my exclusive all-white club, we gonna be Gucci. Okay, hold on. Let's watch the video of when they approached him back in 2017. Okay, let's watch this now.
Go Local caught up with U.S. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse on Wednesday to ask about his continued involvement in the ultra-exclusive and ultra-white Bailey's Beach Club in Newport. Go Local tracked the senator down at another press event in Newport after his office repeatedly refused to answer questions about the progressive and liberal senator's justification for taking part in an exclusive club such as Bailey's. In 2006, the senator reportedly resigned from the club and transferred his shares to his wife. The Whitehouses are now amongst the largest shareholders in Bailey's Beach Club. Here's what the senator had to say. Senator, good morning. We are looking to get comment from you, being a member of one of the most exclusive organizations here in Newport.
I don't have one.
Why don't you have comment? Did you not step down from the club back in 2006 when you were running for Senate, knowing that it could present an issue?
I don't recall when we consolidated the membership.
Do you think there's an issue belonging to an all-exclusive organization trying to be one of the most progressive members of the Senate?
I think it's would be nice if the membership changed a little bit, but it's not my position to do.
Will you pressure them to do so?
I'll take that up privately.
Okay. Do you have any other comments on the matter, Senator?
I don't.
Okay. Thank you, Senator. For more on this and news, politics, lifestyle, and sports, stay tuned to Go Local. I'm news editor Kate Nagel.
Okay, so basically that's what happened in 2017. Now let's forward to, I think it was a week ago. Let me see. No, it was actually 2 days ago. Okay, right now I'm filming this early in the morning on the 22nd of June. So it looks like this was filmed on the 19th of June. So that was a couple of days ago. So let's see what he says here in his recent interview on why he's still a part of his exclusive all-white membership club.
Okay. A little close. Okay. Back in 2017, you had expressed concerns about the membership of the all-white Bailey's Beach Club, said that you hoped it would become more diverse. Now, your family's been members. Your wife is one of the largest shareholders. Has there been any traction in that? Are there any minority members of the club now?
I think the people who are running the place are still working on that, and I'm sorry it hasn't happened yet.
Do you have concerns in 2021? I mean, obviously, it's been 4 years. You had remarks on the floor following the deaths of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd saying, hoping to root out systemic racism in the country. Your thoughts on an elite, all-white, wealthy club, again, in this day and age? Should these clubs continue to exist?
It's a long tradition in Rhode Island, and there are many of them. I think we just need to work our way through the issues. Thank you.
The car's here. You have to get to it.
Amazing. Amazing. Now, what you all don't know is that this is legal. Now, I already knew this was legal, but a lot of people don't know that it is legal to discriminate as long as the organization or club is private. And I went to go get the fact checking from Forbes itself. So here's a surprising fact. It is not against the law for private clubs like Bailey's Beach to discriminate based on race, though the Federal Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, and national origin. Clubs explicitly not open to the public are exempt from the law. And this is the reason why he will not basically, they will not actually open these type of clubs to minorities. Here's the actual picture of it. It is the SRBA club, private club, and members only. And yeah, it's all white. But you're not going to hear about this from the Demon Rats. You're not going to hear them make a big deal out of this because this goes against their narrative. They have to pretend that they're not racist when they're really racist and then project their racism upon us. those of us who really don't care about race and we're not racist at all. So this is what we're talking about. But I really didn't really put them on blast for this. I just wanted to show that the left, especially minorities, especially those from the community, really don't care about racial injustice. They really don't care about the bona fide racists as long as they are on their team. If you really do care about racial inequality, if you really do care about racial injustice, if you really do care about racists, then why is your side the ones who support racists? I love to come back to the beginning. This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is hypocrisy here in the flesh? Do you also agree that the Democrats are just blatant with their racism and they don't really care as long as the racists are on their side? But then when there's racists are not on their side, that's when they just basically go crazy. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you by leaving a comment below this video. Be sure to leave a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, come on and join my family. I would love to have you. This is Tree from treeoflogic.com, and I will see you at the next video. Later, taters.